guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah and here on my channel I post lifestyle, university and physiotherapy related content. So if you're interested in that, make sure to subscribe and turn that notification bell at all so you don't miss a video. Today's video is my OPAL placement prep. No, maybe one of them, I might do another one as well going forward. But I just thought I'd cover over all the stuff that I'm probably going to have to do to revise for this. I'm cutting this very fine considering I started placement on Monday and I haven't done much prep because I've been very busy. But basically, as I just said, my next placement is going to be OPAL. OPAL stands for Older Person Assessment and Liaison. I'm going to be doing that for 6 weeks, so that's going to be interesting. So, you know, loads of reviews. So I made a Word document here on my laptop of like all the terms that I was told to cover. I believe that's all of them I was told to cover, yeah. All the terms I was told to cover, terms I was advised to cover by basically on my previous placement when I did trauma and orthopedics or more elective orthopedics than anything. I met with one of the physiotherapists introduced me to another physiotherapist who just come off an OPAL rotation. So she gave me a list of things that I should probably know before I got there. So yay. So I'm just going to bring up the list again. But I think what I'm going to do in this case is, because I don't think I have enough time to get through the whole list. And realistically, what I did for my last placement is we had a worksheet of terms and we just went through it as we went along. So when there's like free time, instead of just sitting around, we can go through that. Also, I'm having a nice Mr. Freeze. Yeah. I feel warm. So Mr. Freeze it is. But I've recently emailed my placement leader again, just to, you know, reintroduce myself because it's a week before. Reintroduce myself. I had to complete a some paperwork before, so I had to complete a SWOT analysis, so strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges. So like just quickly, some of my strengths I've put is that I understand how to write soap notes and be concise. I'm news trained. I'm organized, and like I've been in that. I've sort of had experience within that trust that I'm going to before. And then my weaknesses is that, like, some people say, because I had to do handwritten notes before, and my handwriting's pretty small. So then, like, my handwriting's small. That could be a weakness. For me, it's not a weakness. I don't have a problem with it. But other people may have a problem with it. Like having small handwriting, or the fact that I didn't gain any trauma experience on the other placement. I gained elective orthopedic experience. And like opportunities, an opportunity to learn more about OPAL. To get an opportunity to see like different area of physiotherapy, different scope of physiotherapy. Challenges are my typical challenges that I work part-time in a different city, so I may be tired because obviously I'm commuting between 2 different cities. And I put a challenge is that OPAL appears to be very broad, so that's a lot to think about. And then I had to make a personal development plan for my educator to see. So I just picked 3 of those things I put in the SWOT analysis and made those my goals and how I want to achieve them and how like the educator can actually help me achieve them over time. For 1 minute, why is that font bigger? That's so annoying. Oh, that's so annoying. There we go. So I've got that in there, and then I also had to send a learning form that it's like we called it Birmingham is called a BSOL. I can't remember what it stands for. I know what it stands for, but I can't remember what it stands for. But on that form, basically on the form we put down what we did in every placement. So I put down like, oh, if I have any, like, let's say learning difficulties, or if I have any adaptations that need to be made for me, so that the placement my educators needs to be aware of. And then I've also put in there that like what I did in my other placement, so like 3 strengths from the other placement or experiences you gained in the other placement, so they're roughly aware of what I know and what I don't know before I return to their placement. Obviously in this case my second placement's lucky in terms of they're my second placement, because the first placement, that form was blank. It was like, how do you learn on placement? I don't know. My first placement. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah. But for OPAL, the educator sent me over a form of stuff that I needed to cover. So I like contact letting them know everything. You know, whether you have questions about like, what do I have to cover, what do I have to learn. And most placements are very good in terms of they already have a PDF, because they know you're going to ask all those questions. They know you're going to ask about parking, they know you're going to ask about your shift, they know you're going to ask about transport, etc. So they have a little PDF. I would turn it around and show you, but it then tells you where I'm located for my placement, so I'm not going to do that. But yeah, so on this form it'll tell you your educator's name, how to contact them, your location of your placement, your working hours. It's good. No. Anyway, sorry, I thought it said I had to do one weekend. I'm like, no. Anyway, there will be some placements which may cross over onto the weekend, and I think if you let me, in my case, I have commitments to work, so I can't work the weekend unless they allow me to swap 2 days in the week to work on the, you know, anyway. But pre-reading, they told me to look at conditions such as dementia. Let's see, this, I'm just double checking that it's on my other list as well. So dementia, Parkinson's, stroke. Did I put that in there? Yes, dementia, Parkinson's, strokes, UTI, COPD, COVID, delirium, cellulitis, frailty, falls, and if I could read about the community services around where the hospital is. These forms are very vague, in my opinion, in terms of like, yes, they give you all the information extent, but when it comes to pre-reading, vague, because like all the stuff I just read to you, I could literally just look up the definition and be like, oh, I know what dementia is, I know what COVID is, I lived through COVID, living through COVID, you know what I mean? So it's kind of just like, what do you want to know about these things? Anyway, in this form, the PDF, back to the PDF, they tell you uniform, like, do you wear your tunic, do you wear your polo shirt, tunic, it's a hospital, you wear your tunic, and like, they always tell you, you don't arrive in your tunic, you change there, infection control, etc. They'd let you know if you have a locker where you can keep your belongings. In this case, no lockers available, just a pigeonhole. Lovely. So then when you hear there's no locker available, you start thinking, okay, realistically, what can I pack in my bag that I feel safe not being locked in a locker? So you got that, like uniform, where you can keep your belongings, where to go on your first day, they'll tell you that. Lunch, they usually tell you either how many hours or how many minutes you get for lunch. Not hours, or I wish. How long you get for lunch, and they will also tell you like either what time it is. In this case, I've been told the specific time when lunch is, so 12:30. You get 30 minutes. They let you know if a fridge, microwave is available, so that obviously you can bring home cooked food. And if there's a canteen on site, there is one available. Perfect. What to do if you're sick and you can't make it to the placement. And do you get time to study? It says yes, so perfect, that is great. And if I have any other questions, that I can contact them, so that's lovely. Okay, so that's all perfect there. As I was saying, I was given additional stuff to cover, such as like certain fractures that you typically get, scales that are typically used in that community. I'm actually still a little confused about what OPAL is exactly, because from basically, I'm pretty sure I said it already in another video or something. My my housemate just did her OPAL placement, and now she's going to do her elective orthopedic placement like I just did. But from what she's saying, it sounds very broad. It sounds like there's a lot of techniques that can be covered. It sounds like you can go through a lot of things. And when I searched up online, it still sounded very, very broad. So I'm in store for quite a bit there. But yeah, I think rather than bore you with me actually watching me study, that covers the main stuff that you'll be required for OPAL. I'll just find the definition of what OPAL is for you guys, and for myself, because I'm still confused. What is OPAL Physio? And is it raining? Please don't rain, I gotta go to work. Ugh, annoying. It always rains when I have to go to work. I'm like, rain once I'm in work, please, like, you know what I mean? Okay, let's see if the CSP has anything about what it is. I'm like, no, what is physiotherapy? I know what physiotherapy is. What is older person assessment and liaison physiotherapy?
to Gov. UK, the Older Persons Assessment and Liaison team provides early comprehensive geriatric assessment in the acute hospital to prevent avoidable admissions to inpatient wards and remove barriers that can lead to longer stays for older patients.
Boom. You heard it here first. That's